Welcome to the AI Hub, a podcast for AI-driven side hustles designed for IT professionals like you.
From cutting-edge AI tools to practical, no-nonsense tips, each episode brings you closer to turning tech into income.
Tune in to discover smart and sustainable ways to boost your career and income with AI.
Welcome back to AI Hub, everybody. I'm Larry, and as always, I'm so excited to dive into the world of AI.
And I'm Amanda. I'm excited too.
Today, we're doing a deep dive on something that you might not think about every day: the energy consumption of AI, specifically those tools we use daily like chatbots and search engines.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? We talk about all the cool things that AI can do.
Right.
But there's this hidden cost in terms of energy.
Yeah, it's true. There's no such thing as a free lunch, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Our deep dive today is inspired by a recent article from the National Bottle, published on November 6, 2024.
Okay.
It really got us thinking about the carbon footprint of AI.
Yeah.
And one of the things that really jumped out at us was this idea that training an AI model uses way more energy than actually using it.
Yeah, that makes sense when you think about it. Training is like building its brain from scratch.
Yeah.
You're feeding it massive amounts of data. It's making trillions of connections,
Right.
figuring out patterns and learning how to do its thing. All that processing takes a ton of energy.
So it's not just about the supercomputers running these AI models.
Right.
Right. It's about keeping those supercomputers from melting down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These things generate an insane amount of heat.
I know.
It's like having 1,000 ovens running nonstop.
Wow.
And you need equally massive cooling systems
Well, yeah.
to keep them from overheating. And that, of course, uses even more energy.
That's a double whammy.
Yeah.
And just to give you an idea of how much energy we're talking about, the Washington Post made this crazy comparison.
Okay.
Sending a 100-word email using ChatGPT uses the same amount of energy as running 14 LED light bulbs for an hour.
That's wild.
It is pretty crazy, right?
Yeah,
These small tasks we do with AI
Yeah.
can have a really big energy footprint.
totally. And it got us thinking,
Uh,
if a simple email is that energy intensive,
yeah.
what about the more complex AI applications?
Well, some research from TRG data centers kind of sheds light on that.
Yeah.
They looked at the energy usage of different AI models and found that Microsoft Bing's AI is a real energy hog.
Wow.
We're talking significantly more energy than ChatGPT 3.
Really?
And they even have this chart showing this visually. That's a blue bar chart with a huge difference between Bing and other AI models.
Interesting.
Yeah, it flips the script on our assumptions.
Yeah.
We think of chatbots like ChatGPT as being these complex, energy-guzzling beasts.
Right.
But this analysis suggests that AI integrated into search engines like Bing can be even more demanding.
Makes sense if you consider the scale of what search engines do. They're constantly crawling the web, indexing billions of pages, and processing trillions of searches every day.
Right.
That's a lot of data crunching,
It is.
and it takes a toll energy-wise.
Definitely. It highlights the need to consider the specific context of AI usage when we talk about its energy impact.
Yeah.
Different applications have vastly different energy demands, and it's important to understand those nuances.
For sure. Yeah, it's a bit like comparing a scooter to a semi-truck.
Oh, yeah.
Both get you from point A to point B,
Right.
but their fuel consumption is vastly different.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah,
So where does all this energy consumption fit into the bigger picture?
right.
I mean, are we talking about AI pushing us into some kind of global energy crisis?
Well, it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Okay.
Gartner, a leading research firm, predicts that by 2030, AI could be responsible for 3.5%
Wow.
of global electricity consumption.
That's a lot.
That's like doubling the energy demands of a whole country like France.
Wow, that puts things into perspective.
Yeah,
So it's not just about a bigger electricity bill.
Right.
It's about potential strains on entire power grids,
yeah,
especially in areas when resources are already stretched thin.
exactly. And that raises a really important question.
Okay.
Could this energy demand create a kind of AI divide
Interesting.
where only the wealthiest nations can truly afford to develop and utilize the most advanced AI?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
We often talk about the potential benefits of AI,
Yeah.
but we don't always consider the potential downsides.
Right.
Especially when it comes to accessibility and equity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even if we solve the energy supply issue, there are still environmental costs to consider.
Yeah.
After all, a lot of electricity still comes from fossil fuels.
Yeah.
So increased AI usage could mean more greenhouse gas emissions.
It's a complex puzzle with no easy answers.
Yeah.
But surely people are working on solutions, right?
Absolutely. And this is where it gets really interesting.
Uh,
There are some incredibly innovative approaches being explored to make AI more sustainable.
Okay.
One area that's really exciting is neuromorphic computing.
Neuromorphic computing?
Yeah.
Okay, break it down for me.
Okay.
What is neuromorphic computing?
Well, it's basically mimicking the human brain,
Okay.
which is amazingly efficient at processing information
Right.
instead of traditional computer chips.
Right.
Neuromorphic chips are designed to function more like networks of neurons,
Interesting.
making them potentially far less energy intensive.
So it's like building computers that think more like us,
Exactly.
using less energy in the process.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Is this something we're going to see in the near future?
Yeah.
Or is it still a long way off?
It's definitely still early days,
Okay.
but companies like IBM and Intel are investing heavily in neuromorphic computing research. And there are even some smaller startups making some promising breakthroughs.
Okay.
So it's an area to watch closely.
It sounds like there's a lot of potential there.
For sure.
But while we're waiting for those futuristic solutions to arrive,
Right.
what can we do in the meantime?
Yeah.
Are there any practical steps individuals or companies can take to reduce the energy footprint of their AI usage?
There are definitely some things we can do right now.
Like-
For individuals, it starts with awareness. Simply understanding that different AI tools have different energy demands can help us make more informed choices.
So being mindful of our AI usage.
Yes.
Kind of like how we try to conserve electricity at home.
Exactly. For instance, maybe that quick email response doesn't need to be generated by a super complex AI.
Right?
A simple typed reply might do the trick and save some energy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What about for companies developing AI applications?
Okay.
What can they do on their end?
Well, they can prioritize energy efficiency in their design process. For example, choosing algorithms that are less computationally demanding,
Right.
or optimizing code for faster processing.
Okay.
These are small steps, but they can make a big difference.
So it's a combination of responsible development practices and being more conscious users of AI.
Exactly. It's a collective effort.
Yeah.
And as more people become aware of the issue,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we'll see even more innovation and progress towards a more sustainable AI future.
This is why I love these deep dives.
Me too.
We start with a topic like AI's energy consumption
Yeah.
and end up exploring all these fascinating solutions and ideas for the future.
It's all connected, right?
Yeah.
The choices we make today about how we develop and use AI will have a huge impact on our energy landscape and ultimately on the health of our planet.
Well said. But before we get too carried away with the big picture,
Okay.
let's zoom back in on some of the specific findings from the national article.
Yeah.
That chart showing the different energy consumption of the AI models was pretty eye-opening.
It was. It really hammered home the point that not all AI is created equal when it comes to energy usage.
Seeing Bing's AI consuming that much more energy than ChatGPT-3 was surprising.
Yeah.
I guess we tend to think of these big language models like ChatGPT as being the most energy hungry,
Uh-huh.
but that's not always the case.
Right. And it reminds us that we need to be careful about making generalizations about AI and its impact. It really depends on the specific application, the scale of its deployment, and how it's being used.
So we can't just slap a bad for the environment label on all AI.
Right.
It's more nuanced than that.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations and really dig into the details.
I completely agree. Now, this next point really blew my mind. That prediction from Gartner that AI could eat up 3.5% of global electricity by 2030. That's just 8 years away.
Yeah.
It feels like we're on this tech treadmill. And the faster we run with AI, the more power it demands.
It's definitely a concern. Imagine the strain on power grids,
Yeah.
especially in developing nations.
Right.
Could this create an AI divide
Right.
where only wealthy countries can afford to develop and use advanced AI?
Kind of a double whammy. Not only could it impact the environment, but it could also exacerbate existing inequalities.
Yeah.
But it's not all doom and gloom, right?
Right.
The national article also talked about efforts to address these challenges.
Absolutely. There's a growing movement towards making AI more sustainable. It's driving innovation in areas like renewable energy, more efficient computer chips, and even in the way we design AI algorithms themselves.
So it's kind of forcing us to up our game on multiple fronts.
Exactly. this push for AI sustainability could actually be a catalyst for a greener tech future overall.
That's the silver lining I like to hear.
Yeah.
The article also mentioned a conference, ADPEC 2024.
Yes.
Where experts discuss this very issue. Did anything stand out to you?
Definitely. Dr. Sultan Al Jaber, the UAE Minister of Industry and Advanced Technology, made a powerful statement about being at a pivotal moment. He stressed the need for collaboration between governments, researchers, and tech companies to tackle AI's energy footprint.
So it's not just a tech problem, it's a global one that requires a coordinated effort.
Precisely, we need a holistic approach that considers everything from the energy sources we use to power AI to the design choices that influence its efficiency.
Right.
It's about finding that balance between innovation and sustainability.
Well, I think our listeners are now way more informed about the hidden costs of AI.
I hope so.
And hopefully a bit more optimistic about the potential solutions on the horizon.
Yeah, I agree it's a complex issue, but it's one we can't afford to ignore the future of AI, and our planet depends on finding sustainable solutions.
And for those of you who want to keep exploring the fascinating world of AI with us, make sure to subscribe to AI Hub for more deep dives like this one. We'll keep digging into the latest advancements, challenges, and yes, even the energy bills of this ever-evolving technology. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to the AI Hub, a podcast for AI-driven side hustles designed for IT professionals like you.
From cutting-edge AI tools to practical, no-nonsense tips, each episode brings you closer to turning tech into income.
Tune in to discover smart and sustainable ways to boost your career and income with AI.